Test. Okay. Time to ping the Discord. Looks like my audio works. And let me get stream chat up. Okay. And let's get that music on. Someone suggested having, what was it? Random shuffle EU4 music on, so not the context sensitive one. I think we'll try that. And let me start recording. Okay, so last stream we left off after the QQ war. I was a bit unsure, like, whether it even made sense to make Georgia as a vassal. I think it does, just barely. But I was thinking of it, and Wallachia is kind of useless. Like, it's not in a trade node we're ever getting benefit out of. We could make it a Pronoia, but it would be a really difficult Pronoia to make loyal. We'd have to debit a lot, and even if we did, it has, like, no provinces. It has no cores. This land isn't land that's going to be easy to take, because it's owned by Poland, and we also don't want to take it, because it's not in a good trade node. And it's taking up a Diplo slot, and is possibly making the rest of our subjects more disloyal. So, what I might do is just release Wallachia. But first, I want to go overview the rest of the map, because there's a pretty big war going on. Poland PU'd Sweden, a very large Sweden, by the way, that was like eating Denmark. Denmark lost half of its land. More than half. Wow. It has it has 4 provinces left. Anyway, Sweden got PU'd by Poland. They're loyal, somehow, and Muscovy is now attacking them, while they are also attacking Nogai. That's actually great news for us, because both of these nations have really annoying alliances. Muscovy allied Imereti and Theodoro, both owning land that we want, and Poland is allied to Venice, and Venice has land that we want as well. In this case, we want the 2 centers of trade in Ragusa to stop any trade flowing out of Constantinople. And by the way, I should also start diverting trade from Maria, because they have, yes, 3% in Constantinople, so we earn more money if we divert their trade, even though we're also kind of wasting all the Raguzan trade. There's just so much trade in Constantinople, we want to make sure we're not wasting any of it. Okay. I feel like I've heard... Sorry for the coughing. I feel like I've heard this soundtrack like a million times. I'm just gonna put on the Stellaris OST, because it's just playing at the gates of Constantinople, which is a lovely song, but I've played too much Byzantium. Okay. We have the complete original soundtrack 2016 to 2025 playing. This might be a bit loud. Okay, that might be better. Okay, so when we get our first diplomat back, we're gonna declare on Theodoro, because they would just barely not get defended by Muscovy, and if we can take Theodoro, then we can get... There was a mission. Princes of the Lazas I don't know how that is pronounced, but we get a minus 10% cost of advisors with our ruler's culture, which again, we already have minus 10%, so that will be more than a 10% further reduction because it's additive. Well, subtractive in this case? I don't know. We can also click our Anatolian mission. So I don't really see a reason not to click this. I don't think any of the provinces will get the local manpower modifier because they are not our Turkish provinces. So if we look at this, this has 85 manpower and 125 manpower efficiency. We can click the mission. We're going to take the Turkish Janissaries Mercenary Company. And this is kind of useless because we get Turkish as an accepted culture. Amazing. We can have less revolts in all of our Turkish provinces. Or we could convert all of the Turkish provinces that we own to Greek faster. Or we could get a mercenary company. Which is actually a pretty nice mercenary company. So we're clicking this one. And if we look at the manpower, yeah, this didn't change. So the only benefit is this mercenary company, which is not showing up yet. It might take until next month. We can also click another mission. All of these missions, by the way, I have decided, yeah, it makes sense to click them now. The free enterprise estate privilege, which we have on the burghers just to keep them loyal, will also now grant a 5% trade efficiency. The other options don't really help. Really, private trade fleets, we're not using light ships. We could, actually, if we wanted naval tradition. We have such a low naval force limit. One of the benefits, if we did decide to use light ships, is we could get an absurd amount of naval tradition. But, I don't think we need an absurd amount of naval tradition, and it would also cost a whole lot of money to get that. So I don't really see what converting ducats into naval tradition would do for us, but we can keep it in mind for some point in time. For now, though, I'd rather just have 5% trade efficiency, because that makes up more than half of our income. So now... Okay, this might also take a while to update. And I believe those two were the main missions we could click. Oh, I also wanted to upgrade a center of trade. 2 centers of trade, really. This one we can't upgrade yet, but we want to upgrade it for a mission later. And we can upgrade the center of trade in Egypt. We'll want to do that at some point anyway. We probably may as well just get it out of the way now. So... yeah, I'm just gonna do this. So now at least our vassal will be getting some more of the trade instead of the Mamluks, which I think is a very obvious positive. And then if they feel like deving, then that would also be fine. Our vassal actually has a 6 income with just the Mamluk capital. That's insane. Because of cloves. Okay. And I'm debating whether or not to declare on Theodoro immediately or release Wallachia first. I think I want to release Wallachia, to be honest. They're just such a useless vassal. We can probably, like, yeah, wait on this. Yeah, we can wait like 4 days for that. But yeah, we can break vassalization with Wallachia. And yeah, we lose 25 prestige. We can make them loyal, or we can make them disloyal so they don't lose opinion. I always thought this modifier was kind of weird because you can just never have to deal with it if you don't want to by enabling and disabling scutage. So we can do that. And let's wait 4 days so we can also declare war on the same tick. And where is my navy? Okay, it's sitting mothballed in southern Anatolia. Okay. Attacker against Poland. Okay, hopefully we can get to Theodora before Poland does. That actually might be a bit of a problem. Okay, we have 11 transports. We have 12 transports. Let's move all of these guys here. And let's move these guys here so that we can get all of our mercs onto Theodoro ASAP. I really don't want Poland to occupy Theodoro because then we can't take it for ourselves. Yeah, so okay. Our vassal's liberty desire is, let's do 52 for Georgia and 32 for Egyptus. That's like the important part. Let's make Wallachia disloyal. Okay, that helped Liberty Desire. So yeah, I will probably just, not ever take Wallachia because I don't see the point in taking this land. It's just so useless. Like, come on. Okay. And let's declare war to take Theodoro. And we'll probably feed it to, like, Bulgaria or someone. I don't know. But now we don't have to deal with Wallachia. I mean, I never planned to vassalize Wallachia. I just saw I could, and I was like, oh yeah, this is probably a good idea. It wasn't. I wasted, like, probably 200 or 300 mana, maybe 300 mana over the course of the run on Wallachia, and I got, like, nothing in return. How do you plan to manage ever-increasing dip relations with your subjects? Mostly Pronoia slots. I'll go into detail on that in a bit. I want to focus on the war for now. It should, in theory, be a very easy war. The main problem is we need to be very quick in terms of getting to the land before Poland can. I wonder if they'd give us mill access. No, okay. Yeah, because Poland doesn't consider Theodoro a rival, obviously. So we just need to hope that our 25% strength ships can beat the Wallachian Navy, which they should. We have a lot more ships than them. And our mercs are at least at full strengths. Now I'm kind of being a bit stupid here, where potentially these ships could all die if Theodoro had a navy. Luckily they don't have a navy. So we should be fine. And then we'll move some cannons in after. I just wanted to get the land units there first. Okay, now that I'm fairly sure that we get occupation of this province. Why are we still getting 30 ducats from the Mamluks, by the way? I guess a month hasn't ticked by. We've just done a fair bit in a month. Okay. Egyptus, 28%. Am I currying favors with you? I need to be currying favors here. We really need to get more trust on this vassal so that we can divert trade. But we should be able to divert trade soon. Yeah. Anyway, Diplo relation slot. Normally that is an issue, yes. And you don't just want a few massive vassals because you'll have liberty desire problems from, say, which provinces are cord? Okay, we can do this. From development. Okay, now we can get the Turkish Janissaries. Let's see how good they are. 10% infantry combat ability and minus 10% morale received. And they are on Tech 8, unfortunately. Yeah, all of these mercenary companies, that's the problem with them. They're like a mil-tech behind. So I don't think we want to rely on mercenaries too much. Yeah, we won't be able to use our mil-tech advantage, so we want to focus on getting as much manpower as possible. That's, by the way, why I think our next military idea will be quantity, which does tie back into the Diplo relation slot question. Pronoias are the main way we manage that. Because we can get actually a fair few Pronoia slots from our mission tree. And we get more from idea groups. So quantity, for example, in addition to all of its bonuses increasing our armies for like relative strengths and stuff, also gives +1 Pronoia on the first idea and +1 on the finisher. This is the only idea group that gives +2 Pronoia slots. I believe 2 other idea groups also give 1 Pronoia slot. Aristocratic, somewhere. Yeah, right here gives a Pronoia. And I believe Offensive does. Yeah, here. I believe those are the only Pronoia slots are available from ideas. But that basically means that quantity, aristocratic, and offensive give you Diplo slots in addition to being military idea groups. So it greatly increases the relative value of those idea groups. And aristocratic is already better than normal because it has that policy for +100% vassal force limit contribution. Which might make you ask, why don't we just take aristocratic first instead of quantity? Which I was also wondering. I think that would be fine. But I want more manpower, and quantity has the best manpower. We don't need this many cannons. We have a 1 siege general already. Actually, we do want more than 5 because they'll take some attrition. We'll send 6 cannons over. Okay, it looks like none of our vassals are dealing with the separatists, so we need to deal with them. We could also look at if we can declare war on Imereti. We can. I'm wondering whether it makes sense to declare now or wait. We probably want to declare now because it's not like we need to take any land for ourselves and then give it to vassals. So we can like have both of these wars going on at the same time just fine, I think. We're just going to feed all of this directly to Georgia. We don't want it to like delete the forts or anything. I mean, we might want to delete some useless buildings, but they don't have any buildings. They have 1 church. That's fine. Okay. Oh, and the last thing with Pronoia is you get 1 additional Pronoia for every 100 force limit. So if we can start scaling our force limit enough, then we might actually get like an arbitrarily large amount of Pronoia slots. So like if we got 1,000 force limit somehow, I'm not sure how we would do that, but that would be 10 extra Paranoia slots. So that's like why I don't believe we need the HRE for this. I'm sure like it would probably be easier and less micro-intensive to use the HRE, but I don't think we need to. I want to try to exploit the Paranoias as much as possible. And I feel like they would get overshadowed if we went the HRE route. And we also just... The whole HRE route is also not trivially easy to set up either, because you need to somehow join the HRE without moving your capital. So you need to like feed Austria all of like the Balkans. And if you do that, Austria now owns like all of the Balkans. So that's a separate issue. I'm sure like I guess they would become your vassal at some point, but it's more difficult to like enforce religion and stuff when you can't like convert the provinces yourselves. Like you can't take the province and convert it. You'd have to like release a nation. I mean, I guess you could just release a nation. Anyway, HRE route would be a very different run. And I'm going to just declare on Imereti, I think. And... oh yeah, could we declare on, like, Venice? Not yet, but we probably will be able to soon. Well, we have the truce anyway. But by the time our truce is up, Poland may not actually want to fight. Yeah, so we're just taking advantage of these two behemoths, just lobbing everything they have at each other to go kill their allies. And neither one can do much about it. We probably want, what, Imereti as war goal? What's the... It doesn't matter, I'm sure we can take all of their land anyway. Yeah, let's just do Imereti. And this should be enough cannons, yeah. Oh, and we should probably see if we can take more acts for missionary strengths. I believe we can. We just need to get rid of some level 1 advisors so we can temporarily hire a missionary strengths advisor. Okay, our vassal is dealing with rebels. Cool. And another thing we could do is declare on Aragon once we take this mission. And that would allow us to take Genoa's land. They wouldn't be a co-belligerent, but we only want to take like some islands and maybe some centers of trade in Crimea that nobody cares about anyway. So we wouldn't have that much AE. And we could also call in Serbia and Milan to like even the playing field. But I think we want to focus on Venice first, because we can probably do this Aragon war for a while. This Venice war might be a limited time opportunity. And then of course we need to keep in mind our truce. I'm not super committed to attacking the Mamluks as soon as our truce expires. We might want to wait for the canal to finish. That might just be easier. And Georgia's now disloyal. Why? I guess I'm taking attrition? Maybe our subjects are like building up more troops or something, I don't know. I guess I can like hire the Turkish Janissaries to fix relative strengths. I don't want to spend any more monarch points. I'm fine going over force limit though, we have money. And we're actually still earning money. That's hilarious. I guess our trade income is just too powerful. Oh, and can we get anything from Egyptus? We can't yet. But we should be able to soon. Yeah. And how much trade power do they have? Yeah, they have like 10%. We should be taking over Alexandria shortly. And we can curry favors here. We can just move these guys and allow attach. I expected us to have more cannons. Where did all of our cannons go? I know we have more. Yeah, we have 21 cannons. Where are they? Okay, we have 2 different armies here. That's the problem. Okay. Let's just take most of these cannons. And we cannot have our manpower troops take unnecessary attrition. We should also, like... we don't need to move the mercenary companies. Oh, I guess what we could do, actually, is we could get our transports over. And we can send a stack with some cannons to siege this fort faster. We may as well make use of our transport and complete naval superiority. Do we only have 12? We only have 12. But they have less than 12 army, so we should be fine. We can send this Merc company back. We want the Mercs sieging the fort, not our men, if at all possible. Yeah, we're still barely losing money, even when we're significantly over force limit. Okay. We can, like, have one soldier go here to make sure we actually occupy that province. We can attach 4 Merc infantry, 2 cannons, sure, then we have 6 spare slots. Let's just do this. And that should allow us to go to that fort, I believe. I mean, I doubt this is much faster at all. Maybe this is just taking unnecessary attrition. Okay, now we need to decide what subject to grant this province to. We can wait on this mission until we upgrade Trebizond to a level 2 center of trade for some extra production dev. Theodora has a center of trade? How did I never realize that? Do they start with the center of trade? I feel like they don't. Okay, well, we want a vassal who we're diverting trade from, which, to be fair, is most of our vassals. Oh, we can divert from Egyptus. Lovely. I guess the question is Bulgaria or Anatolikon, probably. And Bulgaria has much higher admin tech. I think it would be fine to just do Bulgaria. Yeah, Anatolikon also has more unaccepted cultures that they're dealing with, whereas Bulgaria only has Bulgarian culture right now. So I think Bulgaria is just the best choice for this. Only reasonable choice, really. Even if it might look a bit weird. And we get some prestige, which will somewhat make up for us losing 25 prestige because we vassalized Wallachia for no reason. And we'll wait until the end of the months. We can maybe hunt down the army. I doubt it. Where is that army going? They just wandered off to the middle of nowhere. I hate when the AI does that and I have to track it down or just accept that I'll have random separatists show up for no reason later. Okay, we can move these cannons in. But I guess we can just sue for peace. Yeah, I feel like they don't start with the center of trade. I feel like this is from a mission, probably. Which is cool. We get an extra center of trade, I guess. Non-existent AE. No one cares about us killing Orthodox nations. Muscovy is not doing great in the Polish War. Who could have guessed? Fighting... how many troops? 160k troops by yourself? Doesn't usually end well. Sweden also has a Miltech advantage. And at least 30% infantry combat ability. So that's good news for us, to be honest. I would actually not mind taking some Austrian land over here in Persia. We want to get some land in Persia in the near future. Okay, yeah, we're now getting a decent chunk of the trade from the Mamluks. That should increase in the next war, too. And Poland would still defend Venice. They're not taking on any more debt, either. So we may not be able to kill Venice. Because I don't want to fight Poland. Like, look at this alliance network. This is atrocious. Not even alliance network, by the way. Just PUs. They have literally 100,000 troops. Okay, 98,000 troops from their vassals. And they have 63,000 themselves. They have, like, over 160,000 combined troops. And they're all either, like, on time in Miltech or, like, 1 Miltech behind. So we are never beating that. I'd actually be very worried if they attacked. Like, maybe I should, like, build some ramparts or something. I don't know. I don't really want to lose production income to build ramparts. That probably will never pay off. But yeah, probably just keeping the ramparts in Constantinople. You know what, Shormaria, you've been cool. You can get some ducats that you'll then use to build something useless. I'm sure. Okay, so some of our buildings finished. And now we have more force limit. And I don't think that changed the liberty desire of our vassals, really. But let's see if we can get any more shipyards. We can get one more. And we already have that farm estate. So I suppose we may as well just build another shipyard if we already have estates here. I don't really see what else we could do with those provinces. And does Cephalonia have... Okay, Cephalonia does not, so we may as well also build a shipyard there. I just want to increase our naval force limit. Oh, and we should also build one here. We need to delete this regimental camp, and then build a workshop for a mission. Okay, still coring. But yeah, just building those regimental camps was already a significant boost to our force limit. Like, we have more force limit now, I think, than we did when we had Wallachia as a vassal. And now we don't have to deal with Wallachia as a useless vassal. I do want to try and work on our trade income some. We should have more. I guess these wars should help giving us more control in Crimea. But we need more merchants to use that control. I guess that would be an argument for plutocratic ideas. They don't give any pronoias, but we're not going to run into our pronoia slot limit anytime soon. It does give the same manpower recovery speed as quantity, but no manpower. It does give force limit through the policy, and it also gives liberty, desire, and vassals, so the real trade-off would be it doesn't have the 33% manpower or pronoias, and it does have government reform progress, morale, and a merchant. Maybe plutocratic is the way to go. But we have a really good ruler right now. So probably not. I wonder if we'd make more money diverting trade from Persia. I doubt it. Oh yeah, we need to check if we can get that religious guy. No, we just have inflation, prod, stability. Here you go, missionary strengths. Now we should be able to take a decision. Where was it? Theologian? Isn't this guy a theologian? No, he's an inquisitor? What's a theologian, then? Hold on, I need to look up what a theologian is. I thought it was the advisor guy that gave missionary strengths. Oh, he's national unrest. Okay. Oops. Yeah, I'm not great with advisor names. I just assumed theologian was the religious one. Again, we could start a golden age, but I don't really see a reason. Get infantry to cavalry ratio. I don't really want 5% extra tech cost. Oh my god, until the death of our amazing ruler? Definitely not. I guess we lose some army tradition. Funny how -2 unrest guy gives decision for more missionary strengths instead of inquisitor. That's what I'm saying. I just assumed it would be the inquisitor. I didn't even like consider that it would be the unrest guy. Okay. Surely we get the capital soon. And then surely Poland goes into some debt to kill Muscovy. Maybe not. That might be too much to ask. We'd have max cannons here, right? Yeah. I don't think we have a better siege guy. Maybe we can get a better siege guy. But I can't be bothered to micro Bulgaria's 3 siege general. We have no missionaries. Lovely. Can we build anything? Nope, still coring. Also, what a shame that we didn't get to have a plus X% siege advisor. Oh, right, that's the mill advisor one, right? I am so bad at the advisors. But I do like to take him. Let me see. I'm on the wiki page for advisors. No, he's not the mill advisor. I'm forgetting where it's from. Do you mean like the event from like a mill advisor? Missionary strengths? No. I need unrest. For some reason, for that mission. Losing so much admin right now. We could start a war with Aragon, or we could wait and see if we are able to fight Venice first. Palace Guard is low on manpower. I wonder why that could be. And Egyptus suddenly doesn't like us anymore. Why? I'm not sure. Okay, we can take Miltech next year and get more innovativeness. We'll definitely do that. Oh my god, I forgot to make the spy network. Yeah, we want to do it here or here? Let's do here. What about Mantua? So Mantua would probably be the best for the spy network. They have the worst spy detection. But we want to do this to get a slight discount on technologies, because they have better technologies than us. And Georgia is now disloyal again. Okay, Georgia. Oh, I could almost royal marry them. Although, maybe I don't want to, because then that would mean they would still take a Prenoia slot. Or relation slot, even when they're Prenoia. Okay, well, we had like 1 month to royal marry them and we missed it. Oops. When does our truce expire? 17? Okay, that should be fine. And we can just give all of this to Georgia directly, I think. Wait until the end of the months. This should, like, really help Liberty Desire. And basically no AE. Yeah, Georgia loves us now. Okay, so we could royal marriage them, but, like, no need to. Okay, Venice is maybe a target. Poland's taken on a bit more debt. So we can, like, prepare for that. I think I mean, Genoa's probably the better target, but we can always declare on Aragon, I think. Yeah. So we'll just wait a bit. I mean, I guess we could declare on Aragon in the meantime. How fast do we think we could win this war? Probably not that fast. This is, like, not an easy war. I think we'll wait, like, a year. Yeah, that would give us the Miltech advantage. Slightly better, like, cav, I suppose. Do I have... I only have 2 cav. Definitely want at least 4 cav. That would, that's, like, the optimal amount to have for flanking range. Oh, Venice is no longer a valid rival. Sad. Who are Poland's rivals? France and Muscovy. I wonder if we could, like, stop Muscovy's expansion here. We need 1, 2, 3 provinces. That could be realistic. I want to cut them off from further expansion in that direction. Yearly inflation reduction, not what we want. Okay, we're earning way more money from trade now. What happened? I'm not entirely sure. Georgia is controlling all of the trade power in Astrakhan. What? Okay. We could rival basically anyone we wanted. Still no more debt. I mean, this should be a fairly one-sided war in favor of Poland. They just have so many more troops and a Miltech advantage. At least Sweden has a Miltech advantage. Poland and Lithuania themselves do not. 1 second, I'm gonna go AFK for a few minutes. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, so what I think we'll end up doing is we will wait on the Venice thing. If the Poland War ends, we still have, like, what, 4 years? Yeah, a bit under 4 years. We can probably do the Aragon War in, like, 2 years if we try. So we'll wait until, like, 1517 for the Venetian War, and if we can't do that, then we can, like, maybe do Genoa, because I'm just, like, thinking about the two countries' relative trade power. Venice has 2%, Genoa has 5%. That's 7%. What is the remaining percents? Like, basically irrelevant? I mean, Hungary has a bit. But nothing substantial. So Genoa's the first choice to get rid of. After that, we start thinking about Venice. Oh, and we can also upgrade the Center of Trade now, and complete the mission. This Princes of the Lazos mission, again, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, will give minus 10% cost of advisors with rulers' culture, which is very nice, and then legitimacy doesn't matter, the power projection doesn't matter, we've been at 100 for a while, even without all of our rivals. And then we get some permaclaims. There is only one Roman Empire. Speaking of advisor cost. Nope, we still don't have that advisor. But yeah, now we have this +5 advisor for 11 ducats. It's great. And that also, yeah, added some production income here. And we need to remember to take Miltech at the very beginning of the year so we get innovativeness. Let's start moving our troops into where they'll probably be more useful. Okay, so our truce expired, but I'm sure Poland will still defend them. Yeah. Huh, Muscovy wants my provinces now. Okay. Georgia already has separatists? You're kidding. How? Oh, because it's not separatists, it's like the troops that came back. It's my least favorite game mechanic. They run away the whole war and then you have rebels after. Okay, let's just move all these merc guys to one place. And we can have them deal with the rebels. At least there's forts everywhere, so that should help with separatism, I guess. Probably should have microed my mercs better. One started that battle way before the others. Poland still will help, sadly. Kirkizhan is disloyal? What? Why? Why you all hate me so much? I mean, we could get more cav. Or some more mercs. At least these guys are level 9 now. Except the road knight guys. We can get the Stradioti, I suppose. Don't want to spend too much manpower. Probably shouldn't be wasting a diplomat on this. I should be using this on my vassals who are just continuously disloyal. Welcome, Tobito99. Milan wants knowledge sharing. No, we still have a almost monopoly on colonialism, at least in the east. We could knowledge share with some vassals, though. Never mind, our vassals already know about it, except for Egyptus, but that would just be giving it to the Mamluks. Okay, we could also, like, figure out if we want to invest in any more infrastructure. Okay, Kanik is already Orthodox, so may as well get a manufactory down there. Oh, we need to check advisors again. Nope, still no unrest guy. We may as well build manufactories in these provinces. We have other provinces to convert. How does Georgia have so much money that they're building all of this? What? Why are you building ramparts here? What? Our OPM vassal has 5,000 ducats. Does anyone know how this could have happened? Our other vassals are dirt poor, and then there's Georgia here with 4,574 ducats in the treasury. What? I wanted to, like, spam manufactories, but I can't because they're just building all these not amazing buildings. Impressment offices? Seriously? I can't even build manufactories now. What is this? What? Are they, like, speedrunning their mission tree? How did they get so much money? I mean, maybe it's a glitch. I mean, we got 50,000 ducats from the Mamluks, but through war reparations. We did that intentionally. Georgia, I'm not sure there's any other event in the game besides the construction of the Suez Canal, which is what we used, to get that amount of ducats. Did someone maybe give them a gift? It's not like they're spending the money on anything but, like, useless buildings. What is this? I'm thinking about, like, how we could use this, but I can't think of many useful ways to use a vassal's money. We could, like, stack vassal tax on them, but that would only affect their income, not their treasury. I think this is just, like, honestly just downright harmful, because they're just gonna build a ton of useless stuff. Yeah, why would someone gift Georgia 4,000 ducats? I'm trying to, like, think about the order of events here. We had... what was it? Georgia as an OPM. We released Georgia. Wait. Do vassals you release inherit some of your treasury? Could that be it? Because we had an absurd amount of money when we released Georgia in our treasury. We had like 45,000 ducats. Maybe vassals like inherit 10% of your treasury? I mean, it would be really weird for that to be a game mechanic, but that's the only explanation I can come up with for why they have so much money. Then you would lose a ton of money releasing them. I mean, maybe the money just appears from thin air? Like... I'm not sure how they have 4,000 ducats, and it's kind of annoying, because look at all these buildings they're building. I wanted to build manufactories everywhere, but they're building stuff like impressment offices. This is a completely useless building. No one cares about sailor increases. I wanted to build, like, production manufactories, but, like, I can't build it here. Here, I guess I can eventually build one if they don't start immediately constructing another building afterwards. I can't build anything here because they're building ramparts. They're building ramparts in a province that doesn't even have a fort. It has a capital fort. No one cares. I guess this is an interesting problem to have, I suppose. Whatever. I guess we'll deal with it. They seem to be speedrunning their mission tree, at least. I think they have, like, a mission to, like, have no spare building slots. Yeah. Oh well. Like, this plus 25% goods produced would be so good on, like, normal manufactories, but they're building not normal manufactories. They're building the manufactories that don't give any base production bonus to have that boost work properly. I guess it doesn't really matter that much, but we're gonna lose out on a lot of money from not having manufactories here. If you annex them, wouldn't you get all of their treasury? I do not believe you get vassals' treasury when you annex them. I've never gotten money from annexing a vassal before. Okay, well that is very surprising and somewhat annoying. I'm not sure how that happened. You have an extra diplomat we can use on something. Could curry favors with someone. Let's max out Bulgaria's trust, I suppose. Yeah, we still want them to be a bit more loyal. That is annoying. So many things go wrong in this run that you could have just never predicted. How am I supposed to predict that Georgia just has 4,000 ducats lying around? Okay, now we should be able to take this for innovativeness, yeah. And let's take Pedrero. I think that's better. Okay. Yeah, if we had started the spy network earlier, we would have a bigger tech discount. EU4 and its wonders. Yeah, I don't know what happened here. This is so weird. Oh wow. It doesn't look like Poland's gonna go into much debt. We may not be able to kill Venice. Well, at least Georgia won't ever have bankruptcy problems, I suppose. Yeah, why are they building impressment offices? Okay, we got the most useless heir ever. Production efficiency, no thanks. We need unrest, come on. I probably should just hire back my old advisor at this point. Which advisor do we care about? Probably trade efficiency. Diplo rep would also be okay, but trade efficiency is just so much money. Missionary strength, I'm just hiring back this guy. It's only 171 ducats, yeah. Until we get the actual good advisor. Well, not good advisor, but the advisor we need for like 1 month. To pass that reform. And curry favor. It's time for you to play the game again, apparently. I mean, I don't know how you would figure out how Georgia has that money. I can't think of a single game mechanic that would explain that, and it's incredibly annoying. Why does Genoa have so many troops? Luckily our trade income is improving from all the manufacturing spam we've been doing. Muscovy still losing the war. Another missionary strengths advisor, come on. How hard is it to get an unrest advisor as an OPM? Come on. Apparently very difficult. I'm wasting way too much money on this. All of our advisors are just dying? Okay. I mean, honestly, National Manpower Modifier wouldn't be bad while we're at peace. But I don't want to hire another advisor and promote him, so let's go for a Discipline or Morale one. Okay, surely I can start building a manufactory here once this church finishes. Before they start building, I don't know, another ramparts here. Okay. Oh, naval equipment manufacturer isn't available. That's the one province I can't build a manufacturer in. Lovely. Lovely. Yeah, let's just do discipline. Another missionary strengths advisor. Okay, game. I feel like it's gonna finish earlier than the 3rd of September. I don't know why. Okay, apparently not. I have to, like, be so precise to pay to build a manufactory in my vassal's land. This is so stupid. Because now I can never build a manufacturer in these provinces. You're checking Georgia's mission tree? I mean, I actually looked at this after the last session, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't give 4,000 ducats anywhere. Like, they only completed this mission. And this mission. They do have a mission to, like, have no remaining building slots, so it makes sense that they are building random buildings, but, like, how do they get the money to be able to do this? I don't really get it at all. Now they're building an impressment office. Why? Why? You know what? I should have just built, like, a shipyard to prevent them from spamming stuff until... Yeah, and then I could just delete the shipyard later. Oh well. I'll know that for the future in case this situation ever comes up again. And let's do a workshop. I think that's the other building I need for the mission. Which is somewhere around here. Yeah, workshop and shipyard. Poland still not in any more debt. I think we might need to go for Genoa instead. So I'll just get ready for that, I suppose. Oh, this is... yeah, I only need 2,000 for that, not 4,000. And we will focus on probably Genoa's Italian provinces. Oh, and I want more galleys. These guys are gonna have a tech advantage. It doesn't matter. AI doesn't upgrade ships, so we don't need to upgrade ships either. I want to save Diplo points and not get the tech ahead of time for no reason. There we go, 50 galleys should be enough. Okay. And we'll try and ask for mill access, maybe. Okay, Poland is going more into debt. Maybe something will happen. No, they're building more ramparts. I regret everything. Well, at least no one will ever be able to, like, go through Georgia. Oh, and the spy network is disappearing. Lovely. Oh, Naples has Miltech 10. Okay, Portugal is even better. Hiya, are there any goals with this stream besides the Wallachia thing, unless you've done it already? So, we abandoned Wallachia because they're worse than useless. We got Georgia expanded a bit. We took over Theodoro. We basically just want... what is it? Like, more control over our trade situation. So we passed a mission related to that. We are looking to declare on either Venice or Genoa. The problem with Genoa is we can't declare on them directly because they're allied to, like, every great power. We could declare on Aragon. Castile is now the defender of the face. Lovely. And now Serbia will no longer join. What if we declare on Naples? Okay, then Serbia would join. But now Castile would join. Oh my god, this is so annoying. What if we take a claim? This is our other option. Now we definitely can't declare on Venice. Why did Castile have to take Defender of the Face? Okay, so we were thinking about declaring on Venice. Now we aren't. Because we were waiting for Poland to not defend them, but now Castile would also defend them. So that's off the table. We can maybe declare on Aragon. Because Castile doesn't like them. Unfortunately, we don't have a casus belli on Aragon. Oh wait, no, we can use the Naples one on Aragon. Okay. Serbia still would not join. Maybe we could get them to join. So they have 16 reasons from trust. We could get a bit more trust with them. We need like 40, but we don't have 90 favors to do that. Yeah. So we'd probably just have Milan on our side. So it would be relatively even numbers. Yeah, I suppose we should probably just do this war then. I mean, we only have like 2 years before we can start fighting the Mamluks again. Okay. Let's see, we do need improved relations, though, probably, to get mill access anywhere. Yeah, so maybe we wait, and then we end up delaying the Mamluk War? That doesn't seem right. I'm not sure how best to do this with when the truces expire. I guess what we probably do is, like, wait a year, we can improve relations with Austria, get mill access, and if we have mill access through these two, and Switzerland, we can meet up with Milan and then kill Genoa's capital before going through the Pope and into Naples and Aragon. Okay, that's the plan. That'll take a while to execute, though. So it'll probably end up delaying the Mamluk War a bit, at which point do we just do the Mamluk War first? Which we might want to do, because it'll be an easier war and we get more out of it. I think we want to do the Mamluk War first, to be honest. Okay, so in the meantime, we can start drilling our troops. since we have extra money. Yeah, is that all of the infantry we have? I guess we don't have many manpower infantry. Oh, come on! This keeps getting worse and worse. Okay, so the Iberian Wedding fired, and we are never killing Aragon now. Yep. Okay, so we are never killing Genoa either, by extension. Well, at least we didn't declare war before then, because then I think Castile would be dragged into the war. Okay, I guess Genoa is surviving in Constantinople indefinitely, and so is Venice, because Castile is Defender of the Faith. Okay, we can save some money then by not paying for ships. Since we won't be using them for quite a while. Oh, and we should check our advisor. Still no unrest guy. Curio, finally. You spent like hundreds and hundreds of ducats. I wouldn't be surprised if it's over 1,000 ducats on this, but we can get, what is it? This edict passed now, which is plus 0.5% missionary strengths and minus 5% institution spread, so yay. And then it'll be a bit before we can rehire our actual good advisor. But we have slightly more missionary strengths now. And Mamluks entered a golden era. Okay. We could also enter a golden era, but I want to save it. What timing? So, the truce with the Mamluks ends in like 2 years, and I was thinking about declaring on like Aragon before then, or Venice. But, okay, so Poland would no longer accept, but now Castile would. And this doesn't seem like a good idea. Actually, maybe it is a good idea. Maybe not right now. Well, if we don't do it right now, we couldn't do it, because Poland won't accept. But we might be able to beat Castile, at least in the Mediterranean. Actually, never mind. They have Aragon and Naples, I forgot. So that's like 150k troops. Okay. So yeah, we're just not getting this last bit of trade power, which I suppose we'll deal with. But anyway, the truce with the Mamluks ends like 1519, so we would only have 2 years to kill, say, Venice or Genoa before then. We want to be attacking the Mamluks as soon as our truce expires. Okay, we got our good admin advisor back. We're earning a lot of money. We can promote this guy. And probably promote mill. Yeah, let's promote mill 1. Paying a fair amount for these people still, but I want them mana. Now we're capped out on mana. Again, I don't want to take this before we need to. So we could actually just spend it. Yeah, we can spend it on Devon Constantinople a bit more. What we could also do is... No, we don't want to reduce our force limit. That would make our vassals disloyal. How long do we have for this agenda? 1528. Portugal has announced us as a rival. Okay. Well, at least we convert stuff a fair bit faster now. Okay, Age of Reformation. How many age objectives do we meet? Okay, we meet that one. Never gonna meet these. We are not gonna meet that. We could meet this. We probably won't meet that. We won't meet that. And out of these, floating batteries probably wouldn't be useful. The Mamluk forts aren't really coastal. There's only one coastal one. Prestige per dev from missionary is probably the best one. And obviously we have no regional bonuses. Yeah, hopefully our trade income keeps increasing slightly because we're converting all the provinces to our religion, so the incorrect religion penalty to goods produced should be disappearing. Okay, pretty bad air. But I don't want to disinherit him yet because that would cause Liberty Desire issues. Probably. We can spare some ducats to not have to pay inflation fees, I suppose. Go deal with your own rebels. I've learned not to help my large subjects with their rebels, it always backfires. And we can revoke statutory rights in a bit. Oh, and we can also pass the Blasphemy Act. Okay, plus 1% missionary strengths, minus 1 tolerance of heretics. Well, we will never have a heretic province, so hey. And then once we get Admin Tech 10, we can get another missionary strengths for minus 1 tolerance of heathens, which again, will never be an issue for us. So yeah, we should get like a decent discount, I suppose. Yeah, ideas, neighbor bonus, innovativeness, a tiny bonus from Spy Network. We should have started the Spy Network earlier. Yeah, so we're paying only 500 now. And we'll probably take quantity. And just take the first idea immediately, basically, for more manpower. Yeah, so now we go from 463 to 548. That's decent. And we can also upgrade the ships. But I won't yet, because we won't use them for a while. Actually, yeah, we'll declare in, like, a bit over a year, so we should start upgrading the ships now, so that they'll be usable in time. $950? Huh. I don't remember war galleys costing that much. Did galleys always cost 20 ducats? I feel like I'm hallucinating, and they used to cost like 10. Okay. We are paying an absurd amount for being over force limit though, so we need to get rid of some of these. And of course we can't build anything here because our subjects are, you know, Georgia has infinite money to build whatever they want, which is not what we want. Yeah, this is a slight problem. Honestly, we can just keep on getting rid of cogs. We really don't need cogs. And I probably overbuilt on galleys as well. Yeah. I do want like 48 galleys for like the start of the war. Naval force limit is so annoying. We can at least not pay for the cogs right now. Okay, that got it down to like a more manageable amount. Well, we improved relations with Austria, but now we no longer have a target in the west. Okay, so Spain did form. Their rival was Austria, Great Britain, and Muscovy, but I think all of those are great powers. Ooh, Austria is no longer a great power. We could maybe ally Austria if we were not a hegemon. The other powers are so strong that we're actually allowed to ally Austria. I think we want to. Okay, we need to improve relations with Austria. And let's rival Spain. We can also see what other nations we can rival. So they're rivaled with Poland, France, and Bohemia. Spain, we can't rival France or Bohemia. I guess we'll do Poland and Spain. – Yeah. Now Genoa announces us as a new rival, so we could have rivaled Genoa. Oops. Okay, now we can royal marry Austria. Why do you hate me, Sir Kijan? Because they just are disloyal by default. Okay. We could hire another mercenary company. That might help. And also royal marry Austria. Yeah, as long as they're not a great power, we can ally them. And then this should help, at least a bit. We can maybe get them to help against Austria. I mean, against Spain. Yeah, and then against Spain, I could say release... I could take one province that I have a claim on. Say here. Aragon. And then just reconquest all of Aragon's stuff. That's what we'd probably do. Okay, I don't know why Sir Kijan hates me. Here you go, now we can divert trade. Where is all of Georgia's money going to? Where are they even building now? I don't know, but they're using all of their money. Okay, we can pass the Convectile Act, so we get +1 missionary strengths. And we don't want stab cost modifier and tolerance of heretics. That will never be good. We could actually repair the Theodosian walls. We have money now. Let's do that. And I don't want to grant an admiralship, really. Honestly, yeah, let's do it. I want a slightly better admiral. Our current one is like okay, but maybe we can do better. We did not do better. Okay. Oh. That is certainly a nice modifier to get. So we could declare on Wallachia. I think what I want to do is ally Austria and then try and get them to help against Spain. Again, legal as long as they are not a great power. Great powers are so weird. Like, we have Portugal, us, Britain, Poland, Ming, Muscovy, France, and Spain. Half of those are normal, I guess. Can I? Yeah, I can trade in favors for trust. And we could curry favor here. I want both prestige and innovativeness, to be honest. But I think I want prestige more, so that I can disinherit my heir. That will help our monarch point generation more in the long run. Oh, and we need to be ready against the Mamluks. So let's move our guys over. And let's build one unit in our vassal so that we can control their stuff. We'll also make sure everyone is on supportive. And we'll also curry favor with Austria. That is not Austria. We really want them to help out against Spain. Okay. Yes, Serbia would now be willing to fight Spain. Lovely. And again, we just want to get Aragon as a vassal from here. And we could make them into, say, even a Prenoia. And the core creation cost penalty for Prenoia wouldn't matter. We could just give them all of Spain's stuff. Well, all of their former cores in Spain. I think I'd definitely rather lose money. Even more development in Constantinople. Okay, over 50 ducat trade income. So 90 ducat income with no war reparations. Pretty good in my opinion. I do wish we could have built more manufactories, but whatever. I don't really want to give Austria knowledge sharing, mostly because I think they'd become a great power if we knowledge shared them. And then we would probably no longer be able to keep them as an ally. Okay, we declare in like a month. Oh, we could also, like, build some marketplaces. That might help. Oh, they're culture converting Sugla back to Turkish. Okay. Okay, so the goal of this war is, first off, to not delay the construction of the Suez Canal during it. That's goal number one. But secondly, we want to get Syria and Fadl as vassals, and we're going to make Syria into a Panoia and Fadl into a personal union. Okay. We should be able to declare. Also, like, there is an argument to be made. No, we need 40 innovativeness before we start trying to get that mission. Okay. And let's go take... I want a fort as a war goal, to be honest. But we should also take, like, the highest value province that we're going to want. At some point, we do want a vassal with 20 centers of trade for a mission. So I'm thinking about how we want to go about that. Could we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, yeah. We could do that. Okay, so in that case we can just feed Egyptus like all of this land. It's easier to just manage one Egyptian vassal liberty desire, I think. It's a bit sad though that they have relative naval power in their liberty desire. But we kind of need them to, for them to be Egyptian primary culture. I think what determines the liberty desire here is if they have their capital on a different continent. But oh well, can't do too much. I'm gonna make a save here just in case something goes wrong with the canal, because something seems to always go wrong with the Suez Canal when we do this stuff. But hopefully nothing should. Okay. And let's make Antakya, I think? Or is Hama more dev? Antakya is more dev, and we'll release Syria from there. If I can find it. Here it is. I need a diplomat. Okay, so we have all of our mercenaries in this stack. This will be 4,000, what, 6,000, 10,000, 13,000 frontline troops. What's the combat wits? 25,000, so we want another... let's go for 28,000, and we have 13, so we want 15 more. Okay, this will be here, so we have 13k left. And we'll have 11k left, and I think we can get, yeah, all of these mercs as the last bit of frontline. And then we'll just send in cannons to support them. And we can actually send in another cannon stack as, like, reinforcements for when battles happen. And the infantry can be most behind of all. And we are going to try and get this vassal to attach to us. It probably won't be very helpful, though, because I think they'll just get stack wiped. Okay, so we have a mil-tech advantage, but only by 2. So we need to at least use some tactical ability. Okay, we'll just run this guy in some random direction to hope he survives longer. He's probably dead, though. Okay, we have 11k left. Yeah, this should be enough. Actually, this should be perfect. And this can be our support stack. And honestly, probably just start sieging with this. Okay, so they are... Oh, okay. We need to break our alliance with Austria. They became a great power. Yeah, we probably shouldn't try allying nations that strong. We're just gonna have to break alliance immediately. And Mamluks are now occupying our vassal's capital. Okay. And we don't have a better siege general, do we? Does Bulgaria still have that nice general? They do. Hopefully they can attach to something. And we can have these guys siege down the random provinces. Let's not have these guys on allow attach. We want the siege generals to go to the siege. Yeah, that army is dead. We're also losing our great power status. Okay, now we have the Bulgarian siege guy. No, we don't. Okay, we do. And this has 10k frontline, 14k, 18k frontline, so we can remove 18k frontline. That's 8k, 12k, 17k or so. And then we're getting this 3 siege general on. Alright, we should be like looking for the Mamluk fleet. Oh, there it is. And this is the best option we have, yeah. Okay, we upgraded Theodosian walls. Let's continue doing that. Poland no longer considers us a rival. Okay. Yeah, that was a somewhat one-sided fight. Definitely want to get rid of this heavy. Probably with the extra galley as well. These aren't going to be too useful in combat. We can go have the rest of these ships blockade something. These can actually go to, like, what, here? Yeah, they'll arrive before the end of the month's tick, so they can still heal. How much attrition are we taking? Not that much. Again, I'm trying to reduce attrition casualties. That was the main problem in the last war. And we can have most of our ships leave this blockade and just protect against this Mamluk fleet. And why is Bulgaria disloyal now? I guess it's just been too long since we developed their stuff. Let's do this mission then. Yeah. Oh, and we might even get a good general out of this. And we already have a good general, but we may as well do this. This is 31 Diplo. This is 34. And we can fire our bad general, and we got like a decent general from this. He's like as good as the other one. Let's move our guys down. And we probably just want to take manpower recovery immediately. I want, like, wars to be sustainable. Okay. So quantity is already improving our, like, monthly manpower by, like, 50%. Which is, like, pretty good. Okay, these guys are all attacking here. For some reason. Oh, we should take the icon, the correct icon for this. Let's make sure we don't need to build any more buildings. Yeah, we can't really build any more useful buildings right now. I guess we could build some regimental camps. Again, only building these where we have spare building slots. And now we can go to discipline. Okay. And now we're getting 680 manpower. They have way more morale, though. I guess it's because they're in a golden era. You have higher mill tactics. Yeah, and we have the cannon backline, that's helping a lot. Do we not have any cannons on this siege? We don't have cannons. Okay, I don't know what happened to our cannons, but we need them. Okay, these guys can go here. These guys can go here. And we have the siege leader at least. Now, hopefully this canal finishes soon. It would be awesome if the canal finished before we were piecing out, but I don't think that'll happen. Might be able to check province history. This is like March 1510. So if there were no delays, it would be finishing about now, I think. Yeah, it would be finishing like the 18th. Yeah, so there was some kind of delay, and it'll probably take a couple years to finish. There usually is a delay in like events and stuff. Okay, we were at like 100 income for a bit, with no war up, so that's pretty good. Okay, we don't have that bad attrition right now. Part of why I want quantity is I think it reduces attrition, yeah. A max of 52,000 manpower isn't bad. Oh my god, we haven't been using half of our diplomats. Anatolicon. No, Egyptus we can curry favors with, we already are. I guess we can support air in the Commonwealths. And let's keep this Conga line going. We just want to keep on sieging every fort while they are sieging random provinces. Gorkani. Oh my god, why are the Timurids so big, and why did they change their name? I don't know what that does, but I assume it gives them, like, new missions or something. They're kind of terrifying. They're not on the Great Power list, but only because they don't have institutions yet. And after we siege this fort, we can just siege the surrounding provinces and hopefully stack wipe the Mamluk armies. And let's see if we can get the final upgrade to the Theodosian walls. Will you be making a separate Egyptian slash Mashriq subject, or will you be feeding your current subjects more? So we will have two subjects in the Syria region. We'll have Syria, and we'll have Fadl. Fadl will be the PU, Syria will be the Pronoia, and Egyptus will have all of Egypt as a client state. Oh, we should turn it into a march, because we don't need to annex it. Well, technically not all of Egypt. We'll be giving these 4 provinces to a separate vassal. The Palace Guard has, like, a feud with some Mamluks in particular? Huh. This option is available to us because we own the capital? What? okay. I'll take 5% morale. We have a severe morale disadvantage. I want to get stack wipes. I doubt this will be enough, but hey, it'll narrow the gap. I'm gonna see if I can try and get stack wipes already. Like, we have more cannons, so we have better cav. Let's do this as our main fighting force. So that means we have 8k, 1322 of our own troops. 24 if we count Maria, 20... Wait, is that... 8, 13, 19... Yeah, I can do mass. Okay. 21 with Maria. 24 with Georgia. And 31 with Anatolikon. And then they also have 4 cannons. We have none. Okay, so 31 is more than the front combat wits. And we can bring some excess cannons to help. We have 4 cannons, this will make 14 cannons, and we can bring some extra cav in. So this will hopefully be enough to, like, win against the main force, and we can also bring our reinforcements as well. I don't think anyone is going to bother this siege stack, because I think the entire Mamluk force is up here, basically. Yeah, they are. I'm gonna see if I can get this 8k separated. Okay, disease outbreak. It's actually really good. Let's see if we can go here and here. They clearly don't want me to kill their 8k. And let's send this 4k back. They might be going after my sieging stack. Actually, no, they won't be able to kill the sieging stack. Let's wait for these guys to get locked in movement-wise. Okay, they should get locked in by the time we're locked in. So this should be enough frontline troops. And we just need to time our cannons to arrive at the same time. This is the 4th of November. Okay, good enough. 5th, we can delay this a day, I suppose. Okay. 5th of November, yeah. And we can get reinforcements to arrive if needed. Why did these guys arrive first? Oh, we added a general. Okay, this is messed up. We need to retreat from this battle ASAP, basically. We don't have correct composition. I don't know how we're still winning, yeah, but we're about to take a ton of damage on our cannons. Okay, well, we lost like 4,000 troops there because I mistimed when everything would arrive, but we still got more casualties overall. Wait, no, that's really still not good, because that means they'll win the siege and we can't have that. Okay. Yeah, we don't want these guys to win the siege. Let's go here. Maybe what we can do, yeah, we can go after the stack not on the siege, and we can either force them off the siege or kill the siege stack. The non-siege stack, I mean. Okay, we can wait for these guys to lock in and then kill him. Let's attach everything to the one army. Okay, they should all arrive on the same day now. And as long as they don't get the 7%, we should be able to turn around and also kill that siege stack. Okay. Now we wait for them to lock in. And then we kill this 19 stack. And now we should also be able to wipe this stack without a general now. Why are we taking more damage? I guess we just rolled abysmally. Because all of the modifiers are in our favor. Yeah, we're just rolling awfully. And again, we'll attach everything to, say, SEMA Strikes. It's already attached. I don't know how we're losing this fight. Yeah, we lost like the same amount of troops somehow. We should hopefully stack wipe this stack at least. I mean, we have a ton of cannons. We have cavalry. Even if they're not the most effective. Yeah, the weaker cav are the ones actually flanking. Okay, we can send these guys down to start liberating those forts. Yeah, we're also rolling terribly. Okay, we rolled slightly better. Okay, no stack wipe still. Sad. It's gonna be really difficult to stack wipe these guys to have higher morale than us. Or maybe not. Oh, this is not the right guy. Let's consolidate everyone. So that we have more regiments fighting at full strengths, instead of a ton of regiments fighting at half strengths. Okay. And maybe we can stack wipe them. Okay, we got one stack wipe off at least. We can separate some men here to go siege. $94 income, pretty decent. One thing I do want to test is if having a merchant in Persia helps at all. Let's do Aleppo. Because it will have caravan power. We don't actually want to occupy Sharqiya. That would halt the construction, so we want to, I guess, keep our troops here. Wait, we can go straight for, yeah, Iskandaria. Now, hopefully none of our vassals stop to go occupy it. Suez Canal still not done. Probably would take a year or two more, assuming there haven't been multiple delays. Usually a delay is like 2 years, I think. Still losing some money. We're still technically over force limit. Yeah, I don't think this really helps because the trade power isn't going where we want it. What if we send it towards Ostrakhan instead? There we go. We have max walls in Constantinople now. Okay, 53 ducats. I think that's still less, though. Oh wait, there's a fort here. There's no point occupying stuff. Ooh! Yay, the canal's built! Okay, so we can take the canal, in the next peace deal, actually. That's lovely, and we can even blockade more of the Mamluks, now that the canal is built. Oh wait, no we can't, because we're at war, right? Let's just stop trying to occupy random provinces. Okay, we won Iskandaria. And I guess we can siege their capital after we kill these rebels. Which one is Anatolicon following? This one? Let's have that go somewhere useful. Okay, we have what, 9k cannons and like 13k frontline troops? We could fight these guys, but I don't think it would be that helpful right now. So let's bring these guys over instead. These guys also want to do stuff. Okay, how about we just siege this fort with our primary stack then? And then that will cut the Mamluks in half. Okay, now we're getting way more of their trade. 59 ducats a month in trade. I just wish I had more merchants. Which is what we'll need the PUs for, to basically act as extra merchants. Will defeating the Mamluks have any special fun consequences besides progressing towards conquering all land? Yes, it will help us set up our vassal/PU that we'll be using to manipulate Eastern trade. I'm wondering what this stack is doing. We could use more cannons. How many cannons do we even have? Not many. Okay, let's send some cannon reinforcements in to finish that siege quicker. And we'll just keep our subjects nearby to reinforce. I don't know what Bulgaria is doing. And we're making money somehow, despite being over both land and sea force limit still, I think. Get 100 ducat income. No war reparations. That's where all the enemy forces are. They're sneaky. Let's send some troops up to deal with that. Or we could just, like, peace out soon. What do we even want from this? We definitely want this and that to go to us. We want the canal. The question is, do we want to make it into a separate client state? I guess we probably do. To, like... what is it? Inherit it easier? I'm thinking about our mission tree, that's the thing. So, we have a mission, where is it? Yeah, here, where if we complete these prospects, like, this is going to be easy, we just conquer Syria. This is going to be somewhat easy, we conquer Egypt. And then if we also complete this, then we get 10 base tax and 10 base production split among all of our provinces in the Balkans. And normally that's pretty nice, hey, 20 extra development spread out throughout everywhere. But as you can probably tell, we have one province in the Balkans, so we're just going to get 20 development just handed to us in our capital that is already 80 development. And 20 development in Constantinople is way better than anywhere else. But to complete this mission, we need to own these provinces ourselves, and we can only do that for a single day. So we need to feed them to another vassal to go build all these buildings for us. So what that vassal will probably be is Sirkishan. I think our Liberty Desire situation is, like, manageable for the near future as well. So we'll feed Sirkishan those provinces, and then Egyptus will get the rest. And then when we integrate Sirkishan, we just won't integrate them for a while. But when we do, we'll be able to complete that mission. And I wonder how long it will be. 22 provinces? War score cost versus other religions could come in handy, actually. Although I don't think it applies to subjects, so we'd be screwing over our crown land. Which would be less than ideal. Like, if we make this piece already... yeah, we're giving away, like, 5% crown land, because it's 1, 2, 3... I mean, we kind of need to, because... you know... we need to take the land ourselves to release vassals in, but we're probably never going to get good crown land. Which doesn't hurt that badly, but it kind of does hurt. Because it gives, like, Liberty Desire from development. So we probably don't want to be taking the land ourselves early. We need to cancel this estate statutory rights soon. Okay, I'll wait until we occupy the rest of the land to make the peace deal. But I do want to figure out what we'll do about these random troops sieging Anatolia and Georgia for no particular reason. Why does Yemen and Mara have so many troops? Where even are they? Down here. We could ignore them. And just focus on wiping out the Mamluks. I think we just ignore them. Yeah. Again, it doesn't really matter if these provinces get sieged down for a bit. I guess technically it reduces prosperity, but we'll live. I want a faster end to the war. which... Okay, Bulgaria is attached to there. We should be able to kill the Mamluk forces soon, but they're just retreating to nowhere. Okay. See, that would be another benefit to owning the canal. Okay, we probably want to own both sides, actually. So maybe Egyptus would own this. And we give them that in the peace deal. And we give this to Usbekistan. Okay, that would piss off the Timurids, which we probably don't want to do, so maybe we take slightly less. Or we just wait a few years to peace out. That might be the better option. The RA should tick down a fair bit. Maybe we should take, like, where's to improve relations? Actually, that might be an influence. Is it in Diplo? I could swear that an idea group had improved relations. Okay, yeah, it's in diplomatic. We probably want to take diplomatic then for improved relations. We need to figure out how to deal with AE because we can't deal with it in the normal ways. And by AE, I mean aggressive expansion, to be clear. Oh my god, trading cloves happened to us? 5% extra trade efficiency? Our vassal has been, like, deving, I guess? Oh, we have extra points. I guess we can just dev our tax a bit. We can just see how high we can get Constantinople dev-wise. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't be completely ignoring these guys, but whatever. Well, actually, we should already have enough to deal with all of these. Let's go stack wipe this, like, 16k. Wait, we already outnumber their front line. Yeah, we don't need Bulgaria there. We want the cannons there. Here we go. And the Mamluks disappeared, so we may as well send all of these guys back up. And then this stack is just gonna, I don't know, defend Egypt. And let's improve with Timurids. If they can't join a coalition, then that would be at least some help. Okay, so we have some Mamluk troops here. Okay, they should all arrive at the same time now. And let's get this 1k out of there, so that we can maybe save it. We are rolling so badly. Okay, maybe we can stack wipe this. I don't think we have this guy hotkeyed anywhere, yeah. Oh, our vassal is in a battle, we should help out. And then also return afterwards. Okay, Mamluks are now going over there, I don't know why. There isn't really anything of interest there. Why is this cavalry... Oh, it's not flanking because it's injured, okay. Okay, we stack wiped another army. We can bring this back. Maybe stack wipe Yemen. Okay. We have cannons here? Who here even has cannons? Maria does, okay. But I don't want to spend that many units to siege one fort, so we are not going to do that. Come on, surely this siege can succeed. Losing so much manpower on it, okay. I think this is all my own troops, so I should be able to consolidate it. Well, yeah, not consolidate, but combine the armies. I guess we can, like, reoccupy random provinces. The problem is I can't see, like, half of these, provinces that the Mamluks are retreating to. Okay, we gain a ton of manpower. Cool. Let's just make sure they can't retreat from this, and we should stack wipe. Of September. Actually, we don't need reinforcements there. We'll fill combat woods anyway. Good. We can go down there, I guess. Oh, they got a disease outbreak right beforehand. Perfect. And we rolled a 1. Also perfect. Oh well. I suppose we may as well take regiment cost. Yeah, so this goes from like 31 to 27? Nice. 105 income. Our trade empire is growing. I mean, it is inflated because of the current war. We're occupying provinces that we won't afterwards, but still, it is nice to see. If only we could stop rolling terribly. Diplomatic relations could actually be handy. We are about to get 2 more vassals, but that would be temporary. I think I'd rather make the Emperor loyal. And trade power would be nice as well. How did we lose more men? They had no cannons and no cav. And that was... They were attacking a fort, so like we were the defenders. They had like slightly better shock, I guess. Oh, they did tech up. They're only 1 tech behind now, and they do have defensive ideas, and they are in a golden age. We get a discipline policy soon. Oh, we got morale damage received. That would be pretty helpful, actually. Okay, how many troops do we have? 4k, 9k, 13k. Let's try and reinforce this. Yeah, we're just losing because of morale, I guess. How much more can we improve relations? 25? And how much are we going to lose in this war? Do 81. They're at what, 30 something? 26. Maybe we just can't take this much land, unfortunately. I guess we don't need to take this province. Still be 74 relations with them. I'm not really sure how to avoid this. Yeah, taking that hegemony might have been a mistake. don't want to, like, risk getting stack wiped by some Mamluk army that shows up out of nowhere here. I'm also annoyed by these armies not reinforcing. We have enough manpower. Okay, we can catch this Mamluk army at least. No guarantee we'll actually win, though. Taking a -1 battle, but we have a lot more troops. We have cannons in the back line. Oh, we might just catch part of it? No, we'll catch all of it. Yeah, I guess they're even in stats, but they just have better morale. So us having more troops doesn't matter that much. And why are they still unwilling to peace out? I guess we just don't have enough war score. I hate that, like, QQ has they have military access through QQ, Quercoyanlu, because they could just show up out of nowhere if I try and siege back with the vassal. Okay, I can at least dev Constantinople a bit. 400 cost to dev. That made the burghers happy at least. So we can ask them for a contribution to, like, slightly help our naval maintenance. Let's keep that available. May as well do this. And we can maybe get a 1 siege guy here. Yeah. Oh, now they reinforce. Now that I have 2,000 here, it reinforces. Yeah, so we could take up to 40 AE with them, but that isn't that much. Yeah, so we could take this peace deal. But this peace deal. That'll be another 5 AE. But, like, none of these nations could actually join. Like, Mamluks can't join. Medina, I'm pretty sure, is, like, in the war or something. Okay, Medina could join. So that's one nation. QQ will attack. They won't be able to join. Ajam could join. That's the second nation. Makuria could join. They don't know who we are, so they can't join. Timurids is a third nation. Beja is the last nation necessary. And they don't know who we are, so that's fine. So basically we just need Tunis to not be able to join. Okay, that might be manageable. Let's go send these galleys in, by the way, since we already occupied all their coastal provinces. If we could, like, actually make alliances, then that might be useful. No one would ally us, yeah. That's the downside of the hegemony. So, we were banned from making great power allies early by the rule set, and now we won't be able to get any. Which is fine, we will deal with that. It just makes stuff a bit harder. We can also take the next government reform, which is probably going to be the parliament. I think we want the parliament for now. That will at least give us some extra yields in Constantinople at the very least. 10% prod efficiency, 15% tax, 10% manpower modifier. And then we can also start an issue. So we can get an extra merchant, we could get, like, tech cost, we could get government reform. Parliaments are very good. We could get diplomats. All of these are good. Wow. It's gonna be hard to pick. Maybe we take the reform progress. We don't need more money. It'd just be nice to have more money. And reform progress could get us what? Monarch admin skill +1, that's not the most useful. This is kinda useless. Kinda useless. Kinda useless. Kinda useless. All of these kinda suck, actually. Well, surely some of these government reforms are going to be useful. Okay, we can get 10% Liberty Desire eventually at tier 9. That isn't really in the near future. Get extra diplomats? Diplomats would be good. The problem is, like, we're maxed out, basically, on improved relations. Yeah, we are maxed out on improved relations with the Timurids, and they would still go negative fairly soon. Just because we were a hegemon. We kind of screwed ourselves there with that. Let's do reform progress gross. That seems like the best Yeah, we're not going to be... Actually, we would be getting techs in the next 10 years. So this would save us a lot of mana. And it would get us manufactories. Oh yeah, we want manufactories. So this is like, what? 230 mana, or a lot of reform progress. So what's more important right now? I don't think the government reforms are going to be that impactful, to be honest. We can't use most of these. Like, they're okay, but not that helpful. I think, like, 230 mana might honestly be better. We could, like, dev Constantinople a bit. None of these are that helpful. That's the thing. Like, they all look amazing, and then when you think about it, what do they actually do? Income from vassals. My gut says that the reform progress is actually the best. What can we use to reform progress on once we complete the reforms, though? I guess it'll get us to +1 free policies faster. You know what? No. Let's do the mana. Actually, let's get the merchant. I want to weaken the Timurids. And I want to have the higher income number. None of these are that impactful anyway, so... We'll wait until the next month to get the merchant. I want to see how much extra income the merchant gives. Oh, they lost supremacy over the crown. That's actually kind of bad. I was using that to keep the burghers happy. Yeah, maybe we should just switch to aristocratic court for, like, Diplo Rep, improve relations, and monthly favor growth. Honestly, all of those would be useful. Yeah, we might do that. I guess we'll use the free merchant for now. But it might be difficult to keep the burghers happy. I hate that updated Discord thing, where it, like, automatically tells you whenever your friends start playing something. I had, like, that with Steam for a long time, where it would keep getting in the way of things popping up for no reason. I don't know why Discord also thought it would be a good idea to do the exact same thing. Okay, let's curry favor. You can trade favor for trust. Okay, we lost some units. At least we won't need to pay naval maintenance on those. And of course the Mamluks show up out of nowhere. Why wouldn't they? They shouldn't be able to field many troops still. Okay, we lost our bad admiral. I don't care. Okay, the Mamluks are fighting their rebels. Cool. They're actually making progress on the siege though, which is bad. So let's leave like 1k guys here. And then kill the Mamluk army. It looks like all the Mamluk troops are up there, so we can start sieging more stuff. Maybe exploring some stuff. Okay, they should all arrive at the same time. And they still have more morale, but we just have more troops, so we should win. I guess Anatolikon could help. What's this siege? Not siege, battle. And we're going to lose to siege, aren't we? And let's continue moving forward. Okay, our truce with QQ ended. We should stack wipe this. And we should be able to send cannons over to this siege. Okay, yeah, the Mamluks have no troops left. They should accept basically any peace deal. We should hopefully be able to peace out. And Tunis would still join a coalition here. Wait, but not if we waited a year. Yeah, we get, what, 2.5 a year? Improved relations? Okay, so we could get this peace deal, which is not perfect. I would love to take Iskandaria, but we probably can't. We're just looking at what percent trade power comes from everywhere. Bulgaria's disloyal now? Why? I guess they just need to be continuously developed. I suppose we could also take war reps. I mean, I don't know if it's like, if it makes any sense to extend the truce timer. I feel like it does, because it's not like, you know, we'll be able to take more land faster. We're limited by AE here, not by war score cost. Yeah. I'll save here, and then, I think we'll end the stream, like, after this, peace deal. Sorry, it's been, like, a bit of a shorter stream. But I'm not exactly, like, sure what we want to do with this, like, run continuing after here. Because, again... Oh, Spain allied the Commonwealth. So... Commonwealth wouldn't join still. Maybe we could go after Spain, but that feels like a very difficult war. They have 100,000 men. That can't be correct. Yeah, I guess we probably go after QQ. How is QQ not dead already? That's what I'm wondering. Yeah. So we'll take a somewhat not quite maximally ambitious peace deal. But yeah, I guess the other question would be... when we can do the missions to get rid of the Pronoia penalty on force limit. I'm not sure when that would be exactly. Okay, relative army power of all marches and whatever is the main problem with Liberty Desire. I feel like that's higher than it was at the start. So maybe the problem was that we built all those regimental camps and stuff in our vassals, and that increased their relative power, even though it also increased our power. But maybe after we finish quantity, then it will look like we're way stronger. Because if we look at... yeah, our land force limit. Yeah. We're basically only getting 15 force limit that isn't from vassals. Everything else is from vassals. Okay, it kind of sucks to take so much money when we already have so much money. But, oh wait, can we take Center of Trade? We have the Center of Trade. So this will be... Syria, Fatal. Yep, and then we are going to have some Liberty Desire issues, but I don't see a way around that. I guess what we can do is get some diplomats available. Okay, and now make peace. Byzantium, Anatolicon, that all makes sense. Sarkeesian. And Egyptus. There we go. If we own both sides of the canal... Did I save? Then we should be able to go through it. And we do get some power projection, I suppose. We do lose crown land, though. We lose... what, 1% crown land? No, more than that. 1.5, I think, or 2. Yeah, we have 31.8, so we should hopefully not get a penalty, at least. But now, we can at least use the Panama Canal now. And no one else should be able to use it while they're at war with us, so that is the one benefit of this. Well, that and the fact that we'll get absurd amounts of trade power from the two vassals we're about to release. So right now, our vassals are loyal, if barely. They won't be loyal for much longer. So we need to release Fatal first. Yep, they're not going to be loyal. And we can't do much to fix that. And then we release Syria. And neither of them are loyal. Okay. We can divert trade until they're loyal. But basically, what the goal with all of this is, that we feed Syria most of their cores, but we feed Fatal stuff that is over here. So what we need to do is we need to just keep Fatal from rebelling until... what is this? Until we can enforce Dynasty on throne, and then declare on the Mamluks. So we need to get Fatal to have a truce with the Mamluks. And once they have a truce with the Mamluks, we can enforce Dynasty on throne and cancel the PU. And because the Mamluks will be the only nation that orders them, we should be fine with abandoning them, basically. We could maybe even try it now, but I feel like Mamluks would just reconquest even with, like, no troops remaining. So we won't do that. But that would be something that would take a while to do. Because we did take that not quite perfect peace deal. And we do want to try and improve relations with Syria. And also curry favors. Also, our other vassals are going to be less loyal because of it. We may as well improve with Bulgaria for the month's tick. Egyptus seems to be loyal. Yeah, and then Sarkeesian seems like they're going to stay loyal for the near future. But now we have Maria and Anatolicon disloyal. Oh, they have a ton of debt we can pay off. Why do they have so much debt? Okay, that works. Maria, unfortunately, does not have debt. They're always some more difficult subject to keep loyal. I think we can dev here now. Yeah, it no longer has devastation. And we can switch icons, I believe. Yeah, we're not about to go into any more difficult wars. $34 admin, can we get better than that? Not really. Yeah, Syria and Fatal are just gonna take a while to get loyal. And we'll also curry favors with Syria. Actually, I probably shouldn't have taken the war reps and money from Mamluks, now that I think about it. We would have appreciated a shorter truce. Whatever. It's not harmful. It's just not the absolute best pace we could do. Yeah, now we are getting a decent income from all of this. I do wonder if we're even using the optimal merchant setup. Let's try a weird setup. So we have 62.5, 58. Okay. A lot of other things changed that month, so that may not have been the cause. Oh wait, no, we can just declare on QQ now, right? Yeah, let's just declare on QQ now. For reconquest. Well, maybe I shouldn't start a new war. Let's wait until the end of the month to see the trade income. Huh. It seems like going to Astrakhan is better. Okay, well, we made some progress. We got Georgia expanded. We got that Suez Canal completed, and we now own it. And we can upgrade it as well for extra trade power. And then next session, we will fight QQ to expand Georgia and just keep a truce with QQ so they can't join a coalition against us. And then we'll have to figure out what to do, because we don't have any more obvious targets after that. Okay. Oh, we do have missions. Neither of those makes sense, though. Okay. Hope you all enjoyed, even though it was a bit of a shorter stream again. I'm not sure about whether I'll be streaming tomorrow, because I need to figure out more stuff for this run. We are kind of blocked in right now. Like, we have the Commonwealths to our north. We have Muscovy here. We can expand to QQ and Mamluks, but that's slow. That's only 2 nations. And we can't really expand to the west. We could maybe try for North Africa, but we don't have a claim yet. So maybe next war we also take, like, this land in addition to, like, land for Syria and Fatal. Okay. Like, subscribe, join the Discord. You guys know what to do. No province slip-ups. Okay, good check. Nope, we only own the 1 province. Goodbye.